courage. Let us join together in the spirit of hope. The hope that is at the heart of this community and binds it together. The courage that we need and we have to face this difficult time. The hope that we make real through our faith in ourselves, our faith in this community, and our faith in the power of life and love. Because we cannot meet in the church building, there are many program changes, but there are also new programs to strengthen and serve members and friends of the church during this time of social distancing. Please read news you can use and other emails you will receive from the church, and please check the website regularly for updates. Please note the times when the minister is available via Zoom for you to check in and talk. Whoever you are, wherever you live, whomever you love, whatever you do for a living, you are welcome at the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg. Welcome to this virtual worship service of the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg. I invite those of you at home to light a chalice, a candle, or whatever you choose to serve as your chalice at home. We light the chalice as a light to guide our going and coming and our staying safe in place, as a symbol of the warmth of welcome, as a flame to light up the world beyond that we already know, as a light of hope in these dark times, and as a hearth around which we gather as a community.
Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another.
that everybody is together in some fashion, home and safe. So the story I'm going to read to you today is called The Invisible String by Patrice Karst. Liza and Jeremy, the twins, were asleep one calm and quiet night when suddenly it began to rain very hard. Thunder rumbled until it got so loud that it woke them up. "Mommy, Mommy!" they cried out as they ran out to her. "Don't worry, you two. It's just the storm making all of that noise. Go back to bed." "We want to stay close to you, Mom," said Jeremy. "We're scared." Mom said, "You know we're always together, no matter what." "But how can we be together when you're out here and we're in bed?" said Liza. Mom held something right in front of them and said, "This is how." Rubbing their sleepy eyes, the twins came closer to see what Mom was holding. "I was about your age when my mom first told me about the invisible string." "I don't see a string," said Jeremy. "You don't need to see the invisible string. People who love each other are always connected by a very special string made of love. But if you can't see it with your eyes, how do you know it's there? Even though you can't see it with your eyes, you can feel it with your heart and know that you are always connected to everyone you love. When you're at school and you miss me, your love travels all the way along the string until I feel a tug on my heart. And when you tug it right back, we feel it on our hearts," said Jeremy. "Does Jasper the cat have an invisible string?" asked Liza. "She sure does," said Mom. "And best friends like me and Lucy?" said Liza. "Best friends too." "How far can the string reach?" "Anywhere and everywhere," said Mom. "Would it reach me even if I were a submarine captain at the bottom of the ocean?" asked Jeremy. "Yes, even there." "Or a mountain climber?" "Even there." "If I were a ballerina in France?" "Even there." "How about a jungle explorer?" "Even there." "And an astronaut in space?" "Even there." Then Jeremy quietly asked, "Can my string reach all the way to Uncle Brian in heaven?" "Yes, even there." "Does the string go away when you're mad at us?" "Never," said Mom. "Love is stronger than anger. And as long as there is love in my heart or your heart, the string will always be there." Even when you get older and can't agree on things like what movie to see, or who gets to ride in the front seat, or what time to go to bed. "Oh, that's right," said Mom. "You two should be in bed." And with that, they all laughed as Mom chased the twins back to bed. Within a few minutes, the twins were asleep, even though the storm was still making itself known with loud noises outside. And as they slept, they started dreaming of all the invisible strings they have, and all the strings their friends have, and their friends have, and their friends have, until everyone in the world was connected by invisible strings. And from deep inside, they could clearly see no one is ever alone. So where does your string go? To all of you, I now extend my invisible string so that we may always be connected no matter what is happening around us, in good times and hard times. Just remember that a tug on my string means that I'm thinking of you. And when I feel a tug on that string, I know you're thinking of me. So I now hope that everybody realizes that no matter what, we are not alone.
Here we are. But where are we? Here we are. In church, sort of. Here we are together as a beloved community in a time of pandemic. While this is a video recording that you are receiving electronically, we are still in the church gathered, though in different times and different places. I invite you to enter this time and space, whether you're watching it when it is first broadcast or you are viewing it later in the day, or even a day or a week later. We are here in the beloved community that exists in time and space. The beloved community is not an ideal outside of time and space, but it has duration over time. We may choose to live in this moment, but the beloved community exists not only in this moment, but over many moments. One moment after another, after another. There are times when the people of this community are not in the same place at the same time, but they know that they are still in community. It has long been the reality that we stay in contact with those who are away at school or working at a distance. We keep them as part of the community, even when the visits are rare. When people are absent because they are ill, we know and we care. The lay pastoral associates keep in touch with individuals who are frail or ill or who are no longer able to live on their own. The number of attendees at a Sunday service is typically fewer than half of the number of enrolled members. This is not unusual, especially when a large percentage of the membership is older. But to cancel a service altogether, that is extreme. We did this once during my first year with you. There was a forecast for a heavy and blustery snowstorm that would make all driving hazardous and many roads unpassable. It turned out not to be much of anything. That was the first time in my career that I had canceled a Sunday service, and I thought it was likely to be the last. Then came COVID-19. This pandemic has already sickened millions and killed thousands, and threatens to kill and sicken many more. Now, Sunday worship is at the heart of the life of our community. Ours is a tradition of preaching and hearing the word, and then living the word in our lives. But attendance at Sunday worship is not a binding moral obligation whose violation constitutes a serious sin, as it does in some other religious traditions. Worship is, however, a core ritual of our life as a covenanted, freely gathered, liberal religious congregation. Now, in those traditions where it is obligatory, it is a grave sin to miss worship. A Catholic who misses Sunday Mass is obliged to confess this as a sin. You may have heard of the bishops in the Catholic Church waiving the obligation to attend Mass during the first weekend of social distancing here in the United States. Their next step was to close all the churches in their diocese. What is so strong that it overrides not only beloved rituals such as our Sunday service and the services of other denominations? I find it helpful to recall a principle of Judaism that is ancient but powerful to this day. Pikuach nefesh, which means that preserving a life is more important than virtually any other law. Thus, for example, on March 12th, the Rabbinical Council of Bergen County, New Jersey, ordered all its 26 or so member synagogues to be closed and all kosher restaurants under its jurisdiction to sell meals only for takeout. Bergen County has approximately 1 million residents, of whom about 10% or 100,000 are Jewish, Orthodox, Conservative, Reform, and Reconstructionist. The synagogues in the Rabbinical Council are Orthodox, and their rabbis are Orthodox. This is the most traditional and theologically conservative Jewish denomination in our nation. Only Pikwash Nefesh proved to be more powerful than their commitment to regular and very traditional worship and learning. That same principle infuses Christianity as well as Judaism. Islam has a similar principle, and it is, if rarely spoken, an operative principle in all of Western religious and secular culture. How could a person be a humanist if they did not put the value of preserving life above every other rule? Now, we are not in the sanctuary of 1280 Clover Lane because we Unitarian Universalists value human life above all else. And we know that we are not alone in this valuing, and that is why we are not meeting in person today. We are sacrificing our spiritual and social face-to-face time to slow the spread of COVID-19 among our members and among humanity at large. We are helping to flatten the curve, and the flatter the curve, the more likely it is that we will be able to treat those who are and will inevitably be infected, whether around the corner from us or across the continent. My colleagues in other faiths are telling their people that in times like these, their moral obligation is to not go to worship. And I agree. And I love to be at worship, whether I'm in the pulpit or in the pew. When I'm at home in Orange, New Jersey on a Sunday, Jody Light and I almost always go to the Community Church of New York, where we are members. It is not a strict obligation to be in a particular place at a particular time, but it is a strong obligation to be in the right place at the right time and to do the right thing. But where are we? Each of us, I hope, is where we need to be this morning. Now, one place you and I need to be is in this religious community, even if our presence is segmented in time and space. Because where you and I are, spiritually and emotionally, is as real as the room where we are seated or the ground where we stand. Today, many are in a state of fear. Given the unknowns about the long-term course of the virus and the fact that it can be fatal, there's good reason to fear the present and the future. The future is going to be different, very different from the recent past, which was already fearful for many people, and for good reason. Try not to let that fear dominate your thinking, but do not ignore it. Fear can be a prod to action, and just as important, a prod to understanding. Today, many are in a state of uncertainty because we do not know what will happen next. We know some of the things we can do to make the situation less worse than it might be. And this very gathering is one of the things we can do to mitigate the damage of this pandemic. Today, many are in a state of anxiety. Anxiety is a response to situations that a person cannot control and may not even understand, which is often the case with fear and uncertainty. Anxiety is a perfectly understandable response to the unknown we face, to the fear we face. Anxiety can get in the way of making good decisions. It can contribute to making bad decisions. Anxiety can feel so great that it is paralyzing. One manifestation of anxiety is the uncertainty of knowing how to act. Even with good knowledge and an understandable and even positive location from which to act. When you feel paralyzed by anxiety, please get on the phone to someone you trust. That person may not give you the solution to what is creating the anxiety, but that person might just help you to lower your level of anxiety to where you can manage what is right in front of you. Many are in a state where they feel powerless. They do not feel there is anything they can do. Now, I stand by what I said on Fat Sunday about giving up the illusion of powerlessness. This is a time when the power of the threat we face is great. But the actions you and I have already taken declare that we do not believe that we are powerless. There are truly situations where we will experience powerlessness. In spite of all precautions and good medical care, people will die. But we still have the power to support each other and to treat those who are ill with love and respect. And we have the power to improve our spiritual and emotional lives during this truly horrible time. These include participating in other online activities that the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg is offering, staying in touch with family and friends through whatever media you can share, honoring the presence of those with whom you live, and speaking deeply together about your fears and hopes and how you care for each other and how you can care for each other. If you are healthy and can protect your health, do something for others that they cannot do for themselves. Already, four of you have offered to get and deliver groceries for those who cannot get out and get them on their own. So today, we are not in our familiar sanctuary, and it may not feel as if we are anywhere near the vestibule of hope. But today, we are in the place where we need to be, doing what we need to do for ourselves, our families, our fellow church members, our neighbors, and the world that is suffering. Let us live and work well in this place. Amen. Blessed be. Even as you are separated from each other and sitting in your own homes today, the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg is still a freely gathered church of free people. The church is created, supported, and sustained by you. The ministry continues even when the building is closed. On the screen, you will find directions on how to give an offering today in support of the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg and our community partner for the month of March, Downtown Daily Bread, a ministry of the Pine Street Presbyterian Church, located at 310 North 3rd Street. This is a 501c3 charitable organization that serves the hungry and homeless of Harrisburg. While they have cut back their services during the health crisis for reasons of health safety, they are still providing help to the hungry. This is from their website. Until further notice, the only service available at downtown Daily Bread are the following. Breakfast will be from 7 a.m. to 7:50 a.m. and lunch from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. All meals will be served takeout style, and they will be hot meals whenever possible. Your financial support and commitment matter. Please be generous. In the midst of fear, faced with uncertainty, shaken by anxiety, afraid of being powerless, please remember that there's no greater power than the power of love, especially when lived as human solidarity. We pause for a time of reflection. Amen. Blessed be.
And so every soul
Go forward and love, love, love each other. Love your families. Love your neighbors and your strangers. And love the world. For in loving, you will find the solidarity and the hope that you need to sustain your spirit in this difficult time. I love you all, and let us go forward together and love, love, love. Amen. Blessed be.